Spring is in full swing here and we need to start mowing. The grass is getting ridiculous. So I've been harvesting some stuff from the yard and now I need to start preserving it. Later, just in case you noticed the discrepancy there, but same day. So I have these wild, don't know where I'm showing you guys, this wild garlic here harvested. I have the ones that have bulbous ends soaking so I can get the dirt off, and then these are just some that I cut, and I cut them a couple days ago, so some of them are starting to kind of dry and be brittle, so we need to go ahead and get this all taken care of. You probably have these growing in your yard as well. So a lot of people, you call it onion grass, wild onions, wild garlic, what have you. I used the picture of this app to try to identify it just to see specifically what it was, and it came up wild garlic. And I was like, I don't know. But so here's what I figured out. If you dig it up, which I dug this whole mass out of the ground, it screams garlic. It's when you pull like one out that it seems like an onion, right? So, and this one actually is a really good example. See if we can get it to focus there. So it's growing an additional piece there. But if you were to yank this one out of the ground, that clove would be left behind. So I definitely think it is a wild garlic, and that makes so much sense to me. So I've got this one soaking. There's a couple decent sized ones in there, and I've got some that were bigger from a different spot of the yard here where I dug all the way down and pulled those guys out. So I'm excited for it. This, I think I'm just gonna try spraying it as much as I can. I'm not really sure. It's pretty dirty stuff, but we're gonna be doing the tops dehydrated in the dehydrator today, so I need to get them rinsed as well. So I'm going to cut them down to a reasonable size that will fit in here so I can strain them and spray them with the faucet, get them as clean as possible before I put them in the dehydrator. Okay, so I am trying to be gentle about pulling these out of this root ball here because it is a mess. It's not going the best, so I keep ending up, I did a huge chunk here off camera, but I keep ending up with like little chunks of like mud with little bitty ones. Like, let's see, this one is decently sized, obviously, but like that guy, I don't know that I need that. So I'm just gonna put those into the compost bucket. With any luck, they'll take root out in the compost. See, like this little one, and then, nope, I knocked one off, but like these are also all the little cloves that come off as you're pulling the rest out. And some of these, like this is just a shell, but this is a little clove. So I don't know. I'm partially tempted. I mean, it's in the compost bucket, but I could get it back out easy enough to just kind of throw these off to the side or back into one of the holes that I dug to get these guys out of so that I get better for next year, or I could even throw them in a pot and see what comes up. So that's the first thing I'm doing, is I'm kind of preparing them. This one is beautiful, but you can still see down here, there's little bitty ones. So I'm cleaning it up the best that I can here. I don't even know. I don't think I'm gonna deal with those guys this go round, because I mostly just want the large bulbs, which we can use pretty presently, and then good grassy stems so I can make an alternative to like dried chives. That's what I'm going for. So that's what I'm going to work through here. These guys separated out, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the bulbs off into this bowl. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down to fit this guy. So this is the final product from the stems. And then we've got our little bulbs here. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I was thinking I could pickle them, but there's really not a lot. So we'll probably just throw them into some kind of recipe. But these, I'm going to go ahead, leave this size, throw them in the dehydrator, and then tomorrow I can just cut them down really short so we can put them in a shaker so we can have chives for like eggs and other recipes and stuff like that. There we have it. So this is, I'm gonna run it all night. I will check it first thing in the morning, see how they're doing. I'll probably be able to pull out the really little ones at that point, the thin little guys. And then I'll keep going on the other ones. It is midnight. I completely lost track of time editing videos, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off for the night because a lot of those little ones look done. So I'm gonna let it cool off and then sort it in the morning and then dry the bigger ones again. So I've sorted out the dried bits. The thinner ones were all dry. So there's a couple per tray now of the thicker stalked guys to dry still. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down and get them put into a jar. What a process. I had never done that. And just trying to clip them into the jar, shot them everywhere. And then I realized right at the last second, clipping them into this catches enough that they would still just fall right down in there. So I did in between use a bowl and that was fine. And then I just used a clean cutting mat underneath to catch any flyaways so that I could dump them in as well. So there you have it. And then once these finish, I'll add them in later, but this is what I'm left with. It's kind of a rough chop. It's not real, you know, beautiful, but I bet it's gonna be delicious. So our plans for this are we're going to be making our own slow cooker seasonings. So these will be perfect for that, and the size won't matter. I also use these whenever I dry something in the dehydrator and then store it in a jar, just for a little bit of added security. That way I know nothing's gonna mold or anything like that. These ones I got off Amazon. I don't think they were terribly expensive. You can just kind of search, figure out what you want. They come in different weights. So I picked a medium weight. I didn't go with the smallest ones. I didn't go with the largest ones. I had been debating saving them from like packaging that comes into the house and then realized I have no idea what that's touched and I'm gonna put it in with my food. So I ordered this one. You can reactivate them. These are 5 gram packs, so it still says on the sticker there. But you can reactivate them, you can reuse them, all kinds of stuff. So I love them, and I got a big bag too. It'll probably last me forever, but I always just drop one of those in whenever I dry something and put it in a jar. So there you have it. I've got my little desiccant packet in there and my dried greens in the front. So I'm super excited. This is something you can do all summer long to stock up on this onion grass, garlic grass, whatever you want to call it. It's tasty and it'll just keep sprouting up as long as you leave the bulbs planted. If you dig up the bulbs, obviously you've uprooted the plant, but if you just trim it off right at the ground level, it'll keep sprouting up over the summer, just like it does right after you mow. So there you go. If you guys have ever tried this, let me know. If you have any good recommendations for the bulbs that I harvested, I'd love to hear that as well. Subscribe to stay up to date, and we will see you next time.